Hello from Shenzhen. I'm here in a very beautiful setting with my good friends Jackie and Leo. It's good to see you guys again. How you been?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always great to see you, Marco.
Of course,
And
thank
to
you.
have you here in China back again.
And today is a very yummy video actually. We're filming another beautiful watch that you guys created together. And this food has actually something to do with it. It's not just here to make me happy and full, you know. So we've done a video last year together in Hong Kong for the Joy watch. How was the reception?
Far beyond my expectation, because it's reached a lot of people from either online and offline, and really helped Selten to let more people to know about Selten.
Yeah, it was incredible. Leo just said it there. Completely overwhelmed, beyond our expectations. The love and support and how it resonated with people was really touching too, right? Because joy means to meet together, and that we brought the whole community, the global community together from a very small micro brand here in Hong Kong, very small watch club and community in Hong Kong. We still have to pinch ourselves.
And now you joined forces again to present another watch together. So how did you decide on that?
With the success of Joy, we followed up shortly after that with Joy Bawina Purple and Pink. And that was more or less it. And then the guys, Christine and Leo, told me about their in-house enameler and engraver, our Master Chin. And I'm a big fan of handcraft, métier d'art styles. So we spoke a little bit about it and the fact that, Master Chin is vastly experienced. He is a master in this art, self-taught too in engraving. And that really resonated with me. Really basically started from there, the respect that I have for Leo and Christina, how hard they worked to deliver the first two collabs, and then meeting and learning about Master Chin's work too really blew me away. And as beautiful as Joy was, it was a CNC machined, whereas this is completely handcraft, hand engraved.
The story of this watch is very special, right? Because the dial is essentially inspired by this. What's the story behind the watch, which is called Yamcha? That's why, again, this is real food, guys, huh? And it's not props from plastic. It's good stuff, real tea, huh? Not just fake drinking.
Cheers, maybe.
Cheers, guys, by the way.
Yeah, cheers, why not?
Thank you for having
Welcome
me in
to Shenzhen.
Shenzhen.
Cheers.
Welcome.
So, Yamcha.
Yes, exactly. So Yamcha in Hong Kong and Cantonese literally means to drink tea. But if I was to say to you, hey Marco, let's go Yamcha, that means to go eat dim sum. The whole social event, to sit down with friends and family, to drink tea, and also to order dim sum as well. So why Yamcha is because it's one of my earliest and happiest memories of my childhood growing up in Hong Kong. So my grandparents raised me, especially my grandmother, from a baby until I was 5, and then I was reunited with my parents abroad. So I wanted something as a tribute to them and her, and also as a thank you to them, because she was the one that shaped me as a very young boy. Those were my best memories in Hong Kong growing up. And whenever I close my eyes, I can still vividly remember those scenes. Unfortunately, we lost her 2.5 years ago. She passed. So I wanted something in remembrance of her, to do her, justice as well, and give thanks to her whenever I look down at my wrist, that she's always with me. I'll always remember her and always remember the good times as well.
Just looking at the dial, I think you achieved this, the core feeling, because the dial is very warm and inviting,
Yeah, so the pattern is from the humble bamboo basket, right? And it's the pattern is the bamboo weave pattern on the lid. So as a child, I remember the most iconic moment, I think for everyone, not just a child going to eat the dim sum, is when the lid is taken off dim sum. The hot steam rises up, and then you see
what's
the goodness is inside, right? So it's almost like a climax that you see. You're waiting for it, you're anticipating it, and then poof, it comes up, and you're like, everybody digs in, right? So I wanted to have that moment in the dial when you look down. And obviously it's a beautiful geometric pattern as well. And the way that it's engraved and enameled as well, the dial, the interplay with light, it completely ignites and lights up. And obviously the warm and amber tones, the golden honey, and the fume around it is of a bamboo basket that's been well loved over the years. So now that we have a brand new one here, if you go to the dim sum restaurants, right, or the tea houses, it's of this amber warm color.
Yeah.
So it also represents my granny's life, that she's lived a very full life, a full, happy life with lots of experiences, gained lots of character and patina, just like the bamboo basket. So this bamboo basket represents her too, because in Chinese culture, bamboo represents, resilience, quiet endurance, and strength. And these strands that you see in the weave pattern has a deeper meaning too. So strand by strand, weave by weave represents, family, friends, all the people around us that
joining
shape us.
together.
Yeah, that we are here. The more of us together, the stronger we are. Every culture has a different tradition, different ritual, different foods. The details change, but the feeling remains the same.
Yeah,
So that's what I want to come across. While this watch for me is Yamcha and dim sum, but for you, it could mean, your rituals, your family traditions, and it's just about getting around the table and sharing food, creating those core and happy memories.
You showed me as well a prototype box, and it's actually going to be a basket.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
because
very
we
cool.
want to have that whole tradition. So when you open up
The watch.
the,
Yeah, I
the,
see.
the lid of the basket, there's your watch inside, right? And then you open up and you see those warm amber tones. It should be nostalgic. It should be fun. It should capture that moment.
It completes the whole set, right? It's very cool, and I can't wait to see the final version as well. So, Leo, from a technical perspective, I see the case is slightly different than the Joy as well. What's the specifications for the people watching, like the size, the thickness, the lug to lug?
Yeah. For this model, we actually redesign the case and we make it visually thinner by using a top hat crystal, the sapphire crystal. So, and the thickness we reduce it from our previous grain enamel collection from 11.5 millimeters, reduce it to just under like 10 millimeters. It's 9.95 millimeters, including the crystal.
Yeah. How difficult was it to create the dial, and tell us something about the whole process?
First, we have to start off with a blank silver, fine silver dial, and this has to be like precisely done, and that's help us to create a fuming effect that we want to achieve in the later on stage. And Mr. Chin, he has to like maps out the whole silver dial with all the tiny rectangle over here, and it has over like 18 rectangles on the dial, and each dial measuring 4 by 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
And once he maps out all the rectangles over here, and he has to work under the microscope. And using his dominant hands, engrave the outlines of the rectangles, while his another hand has to like hold the ball vise to rotate it while he's engraving. So that's how with the whole process, we can engrave the dial without like any interruption very smoothly.
So after he maps out the pattern, he goes a few times over it, or no? Because it looks very deep and shiny from my end here.
Yeah, because once he maps out the dial and he has to like do the engraving within each rectangle, and each rectangle consists of like 40 engraving lines in it.
So it's 80 rectangles
Yep.
plus 40 lines inside.
And remember, each rectangle is measured by like 4 by 2 millimeters, which means like each 2 millimeters consists of like just over like 20 lines. If you do the maths,
Wow.
each cut is just less than 0.1 millimeters. It could like thinner than your hairs.
Yeah.
We have the process here from blank to the final version, which is on the top side there. And what happens afterwards?
While he do the engraving, Mr. Chin has to like use different pressure and with a different length for each engraving line. And that's help with the whole process to bring out the shimmering and the deliberate shadows that we want to present. And that transforms the whole flat silver dial into which looks like and feels a bamboo weaving pattern.
Yeah.
So it has the 3D, the texture, and the
Yep.
depth as well. So after all this, it takes what, roughly 8 hours, right?
Yeah, over 8 hours. So, and for the whole dial, it's over like 3,500 cuts.
Wow. And what happens next?
First, we have to start with the glass fit of the enamel, and we have to ground it into the mesh size that we need for the later on enameling process. Here's a very important process because he has to like filter and wash the enamels after and after like many times, and that helps with to purify, to remove any impurity inside the enamel. Because if there's any dust inside the powder and when it goes into the firing process, this would like create some cloudiness or specks or even like form the bubbles within the dials.
Yeah. So every step needs to be perfect before he continues to the next one, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because otherwise you see the mistake later.
Yeah,
And you can't
then
go
it's
back.
too late, yeah. And then you have to start the engraving process again.
So how many prototype dials did you have to do until you were finally satisfied? And what's the rejection rate?
Well, just for the prototype, we've been doing like over 20 pieces. Because every prototype, you know, because we have to create a foaming effect of the dial, and it's not easy. There's no formula for it. So every time when we create different dome structure, we have to do the whole process from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And that's the moment we finally see how it looks. And just for the prototyping process, the failure rate is like, to us, is more than like 40%.
Yeah. How many layers of enamel do you apply on the dial?
Well, for each dial, Mr. Chin has to apply like at least 8 layers of the enamel on the dial itself. Because Mr. Chin has to use a fine brush and to apply the enamel on top of the dial layer by layer. And this cannot be rushed.
What does he do after every time he puts it into the kiln and takes it out?
So the thinner layer we apply on the enamel, the less likely the bubble will be formed within the dial as well.
So, but he needs to again check, right? So it's heated, cool down, he checks bubbles, no bubbles, dust, and then continues.
Yes.
Yeah, so the process is repeated a minimum of 8 times. Fired in the kiln, 800 degrees, taken out, cooled down, checked, fine layer applied again to check, so that it minimizes the bubbles.
Yeah.
And also has to be mentioned that there's 3 types of enamel. There's translucent, transparent, and there's opaque. And we chose transparent so that you can see the depth into the dial, you can see the geometric designs, the weave designs, and you can see how the bright cut techniques and the engravings play with the light.
Yeah.
And we can only achieve that with transparent enamel.
Yeah. You can see all the layers which were applied basically, and the gradient as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also the final stage then is further 1.5 hours of hand polishing the enamel. So you see the process.
That's why
here.
the second to last is
second to
dark.
last. Yeah, is their minimum of 8 layers, probably more than the hand polishing. So transparent enamel with the hand polishing of it makes it, this combination makes it, you know, very, very difficult and challenging. So he uses his hand again, applies certain pressure to make sure that all the colors are coaxed out from it, right? It really completely lifts the dial. So if you can see here where it's unpolished to a polished prototype here, you can see the difference it is and also the difficulty in polishing that.
And you also created a very special case back.
Yes.
You closed the movement. Is the movement the same as on the Joy or no?
Yeah, we now change it to a slither movement. It's the latest low voltage. It's a hand-wind movement.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it powered up by the power reserve from the last generation from 42 hours to now is 65 hours.
Oh, cool.
So it's more like a 50% increase in the performance.
And a manual movement, and you close the back. And what's on the back? Beautiful.
So if you remember Joy, the packaging, the card, even the tote bag was from our friend 1 Hour Watch, Lee Yoon Rapati. So that was, you know, beautifully illustrated in his style, his signature. So we asked him again to come up with a case back that is nostalgic, it's whimsical, it's playful, because if you look at it, it's actually my point of view as a child sitting at a dim sum table or dim sum tea house at a table with my grandparents sitting left and right of me. So you have 3 sets of chopsticks, You have 3 siu mai in the bamboo basket steamer. You have 3 cups of tea, and then you have the table number, which is also 3. So it's a loving nod to the trio, which is me and my grandparents at the time, but also the 3rd year anniversary too.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's a good connection. Huh?
Yeah, and also forgot to mention is that we're allowing buyers to personalize the table number too. So for me, I'm taking number 3. So for Leo, you might take number 1, and for you, you might take your special number, which is 8, 9, 4. Okay, that's
It's
good.
very bad in this culture.
Yeah, but so that's definitely available.
I love
so
it,
4,
so.
yeah. So and when you buy the watch, you tell us the number, we'll get it engraved. So the case back is stamped with this, very beautiful, nostalgic, and playful motif by 1 Hour Watch.
And how many numbers? What's the limitation as well? Because I remember Joy was limited by time, like a window.
Pre-sale, yes.
Pre-sale, which was very successful and everybody loved it. But this one, you decided to limit it.
Yeah, limited to only 100 pieces because, as we mentioned, it took 16 and a half, or it takes 16 and a half hours to make 1 dial. So Master Chin and his apprentice can only make probably 2 or 3 a week. The quantity is enough out there, especially for our community and our members to have first, and then we can then go out to the rest of the community.
Of course, yeah. They will have a lot of work, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
True, because the Joy dial was CNC and this is handmade.
Completely handcrafted.
You're limited also by the people's, let's say, ability to produce this. I hope he doesn't have nightmares, about this pattern. Shout out Master Chin. And good luck with all of this.
So, what makes Master Chin truly unique to us is that he's not just an enamelist, he's also a self-taught engraver. It's very rare for an enamelist who also know about like the engraving, He's not just an average engraver. If you see our last collection on the Granville enamel, it's speechless. He spent like his past 10 years in the jewelry industry.
So the case is also done with Li Yun from 1 Hour Watch, and the dial takes much more time. What's the price for it? Because it can't be, I think the Joy was 1,100 USD.
1,099.
Yeah. How much is the new one, the Yamcha?
So the Yamcha is 4,950 USD.
Yeah, USD.
Yeah, and I think for the craft, the time, the patience, the skill, 16.5 hour plus work, the 20 plus prototypes that we did, the 40% rejection rate.
80 by 40.
Yeah,
engravings.
3,500 individual lines cut, the hand polishing, everything else. I think 4,950 USD is incredible value. If this dial was made anywhere else other than Asia, if you say Switzerland where you're based, or even the States or anywhere in Europe, I think you're talking 2 or 3 times that for that particular dial.
Sure.
Yes.
Awesome. And the watch is available now, basically.
Yes, August the 11th, we've launched. So it's only 100 pieces.
Yeah.
So once it's sold out, it's sold out. Yeah.
You snooze, you lose. So last time we had a special SWG code for the Joy with a hand-stitched travel pouch, which was beautiful, and you guys loved it a lot. This time we also figured something out. So what are we getting? What can I offer my community?
Yeah, we have to come up with something special again for your community because they've been so supportive. So this time it's going to be our stainless steel bracelet.
Nice.
Which is worth $150. It has built-in micro adjustment. It completely changes the look of the watch from a strap to a bracelet. I think it goes well with either. It goes beautiful with the strap, but then on the bracelet, it completely changes the look too. So with every purchase that you use the special code, which I think will be SWG, you'll receive a complimentary stainless steel bracelet with it as well. Just for Marco and his community.
It's for you guys. Yeah. And I like bracelets, especially this summer. It's super hot. So I'm wearing either bracelets or rubber straps.
Yes.
Because you can destroy your leather straps.
Absolutely.
In a week. So use your bracelets now for summer, definitely. Thank you for the special offer, guys. Again, guys, if you like the watch, link in the description below. Go support, show some love. Thank you, Jackie, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
And now finally we're gonna eat these these dim
Beautiful
sum.
dim sum. Tuck in.
Tuck in, guys.
Bon
Enjoy.
appetit.
Bon
Cheers.
appetit.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.